Welcome to NetApp's A Day in the Life of a DBA video series. Today we are going to look at Application Data Management, or AppDM, which allows you to easily provision NetApp storage for SQL Server databases. AppDM is an application intelligence embedded in ONTAP. It provides a simple, repeatable application workflow. AppDM allows you to remain in your comfort zone while performing storage management in application terms. In this demo, we'll use AppDM to provision LUNs that meet specific capacity and performance criteria for our SQL Server database. We'll then create databases that have database files residing across the newly created LUNs. We'll show how to move tempdb files from a local disk to fast NetApp storage to improve performance of SQL Server. So, let's begin. From ONTAP System Manager, you can provision storage for a SQL Server database by navigating to Application Tiers, and then Application. Select Add and Application, and then select Microsoft SQL Server. Enter the database name, and then the data file size. Select the service level. In this case, we'll select Extreme, which gives us the highest level of performance. Microsoft recommends that you create 8 data files if you have a server with 8 CPU cores or more. If you have a server with fewer than 8 CPU cores, create 1 data file for each CPU core. AppDM already has this logic built in to help you. In our case, we have 24 cores, so AppDM creates 8 data LUNs for 8 database files. Next, we'll create a LUN in preparation for moving our tempdb files to our NetApp storage to increase the performance of SQL Server. Select the SAN protocol and SQL Prod 01 for host mapping. Then click Add Application. What we're seeing here is not sped up for video. AppDM took less than 14 seconds to provision over 2.5 terabytes of storage and present LUNs to our SQL Server host. You can see that AppDM has provisioned both volumes and LUNs and assigned LUN mapping to the host for you. We'll remote desktop to our Windows host to validate the number of CPU cores. Now we are going to online, initialize, format, and mount all the LUNs that we just created using disk management. We'll start by rescanning the disks, bringing them online, and initializing all the disks. Then we'll format and create mount points for all the LUNs. NetApp recommends using mount points for ease of management. NetApp also recommends formatting LUNs with a 64K allocation unit size. Now we'll repeat the same process for the remaining LUNs. We'll now use SQL Server Management Studio to create a SQL Server database that has all data files residing on the NetApp LUNs that we just created. First, we'll provide the database name and add secondary data files. Make sure that they are all the same size. It's very important that all data files are the same size, and if you have auto growth set up, it's important that they are all the same. Now we'll validate that the database has data files of the same size residing in the proper place. And we'll move our tempdb files to NetApp storage to improve performance with the transact SQL command. Typically, SQL Server 2016 and later deploys 8 tempdb files. To verify this, use the transact SQL command. For uniformity, we'll change the logical name for the first tempdb file from tempdev to temp1. And now we'll change the location of all our physical files to NetApp storage. We need to restart the SQL Server service for the changes to come into effect. You can change the physical location of the files and resize them at the same time. However, you might not have enough space in your local drive. Next, we'll change the size of all our tempdb files so that they are the size that we need. Of course, it's always good to double check your work. Beside provisioning database LUNs, we can use AppDM to organize and monitor SQL Server databases. In this example, we are removing Dallas Warehouse database by selecting the Delete button. We can also monitor the performance of the database by selecting Database from AppDM. We can monitor both IOPS and latency. In this video tutorial, we demonstrated how easy it is to provision NetApp storage with AppDM. We also showed you how to create a SQL Server database in which all files reside on our newly created LUNs. We also demonstrated how to move tempdb files to fast NetApp storage LUNs to improve SQL Server performance. Thank you for watching. If you found this video to be helpful, please subscribe for more.